Hey, one of the things that we wanted to do today is, obviously it is our 70th anniversary, and there is just such a beautiful, rich heritage in our campus here. And so many great stories. And so we have endeavored to just tell a few of those stories today. And so in a moment, we're going to throw to the screens and you're going to hear a little bit about the history of this location, which was Garden City Christian Church and now Hillsong Church, Brisbane. And so you're going to enjoy this. You're going to see a few familiar faces. You're going to take you down memory lane. So why don't you check out the screens? So how long have you been in the church, Dom?
Only 70 years.
There's an image behind us of a bus. Do you want to tell us about that bus and the significance of it?
Yeah, well, during the time of Sunday school, people sacrifice a lot to accomplish what they hear at Mount Gravatt. When the Sunday school wanted a bus, Ron Marlowe mortgaged his house to buy the bus.
Wow. That's awesome.
I had a moral seed utility, and it wasn't a matter of how many I could carry, it was how many I could fit on the thing to bring it to church. They were great days. Well, after the Sunday school was established, then we started night meetings in the dance hall, and from there it became a church.
I met my wife Jules when I was 17, back in 75. After going out for a few weeks, she asked me to come along to church. So I thought, if I want to keep on dating this girl, I better come to church. So I came to church. I attended for, I think it was maybe a few months. Gave my life to Jesus at an altar call. I don't even remember walking down the front. I think I transcended or floated down the front, and been here ever since.
I've been here since 1998, so I think it's 27 years been part of the church. Back when it had the orange carpet and the louvers and the oscillating fans. This was pre-air conditioning.
I have been a part of our church my entire life, born into our church. I used to sit as a baby, third or fourth row with my mum and dad. My mum has been in our church over 50 years. My grandparents were part of our church and served in many different roles. But I just remember it being in kids' church. My earliest memories of being here, like JT talked about, red carpet, and mum and dad just had made a decision for our family that the house of God was just a priority for our family. And I thank God for it. That just Sundays were something that we were in church in the morning and in church at night. I feel very blessed and privileged to have the history that we have as a family in this location. It's really significant. There's something beautiful about this facility, this property at the base of the mountain, and it holds a real special place in my heart.
I have been here at Hillsong for the last 10 years. Thinking back, I used to come to youth here back in the day when it was Garden City, and we would come to Octane Youth on a Friday night. It was in what is now the childcare centre.
Yes.
The roof was not legal height. It was dark and dingy, and we would basically be moshing and hitting the ceiling. But that was back in 2004, 2005. We'd catch a bus full of students, make our way up to the property.
Well, in 2009, we, as a church here in Mount Gravatt, we experienced a significant transition from Garden City to Hillsong Church. It's been an amazing season from that moment.
I was the young adults pastor at Garden City Christian Church at the time, and I remember being told what was about to take place in terms of the transition. And it actually took a little bit to get your head around it, because it was actually, it's quite common now, but it was new. It was really pioneering at the time.
Jules and I had attended Hillsong Conference for 20 years or something prior to that. So when they made the announcement, I remember thinking, thank you, Jesus. Amazing transition. It was the best thing that's ever happened to this church.
I just remember we used to send out all these buses out into the western suburbs and down south. Just young people would descend on the property, and it was just an exciting time.
It's in like those early days getting plugged into the youth ministry, and then RDGs, our radical discipleship groups, that taught me the importance of attending church, attending RDGs, reading my Bible, those like initial foundational disciplines as a Christian that I learned in the youth ministry. And to now with, having a son, it's not even something that we have to think about. To come to, it's Sunday, we're going to the house of the Lord, we're going to go worship, and we're going to go seek the face of Jesus. You deserve the glory. A moment I guess I'll never forget is last year we had our youth conference here in the Maynard. One of the sessions we focused on worship, and then we spent like a whole just hour and a half worshiping Jesus. And I remember a few hundred of our young people were on their knees singing, "You are worthy of it all." And I clearly will never forget this moment, just to hear hundreds of young people just worshipping Jesus. I don't think I'll ever forget, just for our young people to really understand what it means to minister and to worship Jesus. I'll never forget that moment in this room.
And those summer camps and those services, I feel like they have affected the rest of our church. It's not just been contained to our young people. I remember that summer camp a couple of years ago, and I feel like it lit a fire within our church that I feel like we've just seen it go from strength to strength, and something really powerful happened at that summer camp.
Sowing into this place for 50 years, that's a big investment. It's not something you take lightly, you walk away from. We've had some great times, some not so great times, but just to have seen, I guess, the faithfulness of God, to be in a service in the morning and just to experience the worship, corporate worship. It's such a glimpse of what heaven. It's home. When you walk through the doors, it's home. It doesn't matter what name is on the gate or who the pastor is. And you're doing a great job at the moment, Andy, I got to say. But it's home. This place is home.
I have a family because of this place. I met my wife here. I remember going to the young adults ministry on a Friday night. It used to be called TGIF. Thank God it's Friday. We met here. Like, I proposed right just down there. I think it was a Saturday night.
At the altar.
At the altar right here. So I proposed right here. We got married like around this area right here. Had the honeymoon off-site. But just this place, it's significant for us. And we've had our kids baptised here and dedicated here. And so when I'm sitting across from someone like Don, who stepped out in faith to plant a church like this, I feel like our family is the fruit of those decisions and those steps of faith.
It's hard to explain, because to what we've come from, to come and sit in church of a Sunday, I just sit there in awe and just thank God, how faithful He's been, and to see such a heritage now. I just have to give God all the glory. And I believe that's not the finish. I believe we've got greater things ahead of us. My fire's still in my belly to see God move in a wonderful way.
Psalm 145 verse 4, it says, "One generation commends your works to another. They tell of your mighty acts. They speak of the glorious splendor of your majesty, and I will meditate on your wonderful works." 70 years of heritage. And I feel like we have a real awareness of the fact that we wouldn't be where we are without the people that have gone before for 70 years. We're grateful for the leadership and the example that has been shown to us. And we're passionate about the future and what that means, not only for our own children, but every young person that calls this place home.
Like I said, I've been part of the church for 27 years, and there's been times that I've been really excited about church. But I'd have to say, and I can say this in all honesty because I know I've shared this with my wife and the kids, I've never been more excited about church than I am right now.
Looking at the next 70 years, I'm excited to see the year 7, year 8 kids in our youth ministry now become leaders. I'm excited for the leaders we have now to walk in through the foyer of our church with their families. I'm just excited to see the generations continue to be planted in this house.
Having been a part of it for 50 years and just see us go through different seasons, and every time a season comes to an end and we go into a new season, it's just, God does something extraordinary. And I feel like we've just stepped into this new season again. And I sense something, as I said, being a part of it for 50 years and just coming into church in the morning, and from the moment praise and worship, starts, there's something. There's something about, something extraordinary going to happen.
Yeah, and I feel like the 2025 Pastor Phil and Lucinda, the declaration of take another step of faith under their leadership, I would agree, Frank, we're on the verge of something really special, not just in our location, but as a church across the country. Early in the year, Jade and I, with that Connect group, we're sitting on our deck, we're talking about taking another step of faith. And I just have this desire or this passion for us. We're not called to maintain that which people like Don have built and Frank have built over generations, over decades. I just don't feel like we're called to maintain. We're called to take another step of faith. We're called to keep advancing the gospel. And I get really excited. I get excited about the future of our church, about the young people that are going to be raised up, about the songs that we're going to sing, the missionaries that we're going to send. Like we're not called to maintain.
It makes my heart rejoice to know that the church is in good hands, and I believe in my heart that things are going to go to greater heights than ever we've seen in the past. To God be the glory for great things He has done.
Beautiful. You can go ahead and grab your seats. Wasn't that beautiful? I just want to read a few things, if that's okay. I do want to say a big thank you to all of those who were involved in creating that presentation. There's quite a few people involved, and thank you for it. This day today, it isn't lost on me and the significance of it. I'm very aware that as a 35-year-old who has spent my entire life in this church, what was Garden City Christian Church and now Hillsong Church, there are countless people who have paved the way for me and my family and others to build our lives here and build our families in this church, and some of whom are here today. The reality is I could spend hours going through this room and honouring, and in our previous service, and honouring the great men and great women who have sacrificed so much of their lives in the service of others, and ultimately in service to the Lord over the last 70 years. I don't have all the time to be able to do that, but I would like to take some time to honour a few people. I'd like to acknowledge Mr. and Mrs. Lenski, Mrs. who we saw Don on the screen before, Mrs. Passingham, and Mr. Morton as well. I'd like to honour you guys and thank you for the years of sacrifice and time and energy and effort and stepping out in faith. And so I honour you guys for your sacrifice. The four of them are a part of the original couples that were mentioned. I'd also love to honour every person who has been a staff member at our church over the last 70 years. On a day like today, I'm very aware that there'd be many people who at one point have worked in a whole range of different areas for our church, in a variety of roles, from the administrators, the bookkeepers, the facilities team, the creative team, the pastors, the hospitality team, and everyone in between. I honour you all for your sacrifice, your above and beyond spirit that has enabled us to continue to build a healthy church. I would also like to honour all of our former senior pastors and campus pastors and our current senior pastors. Pastor Garnet Budge, Pastor Reg Clemenock, I believe Pastor Reg is here this morning. I honour you, and his beautiful wife as well. I honour you, Pastor Reg. Pastor Andrew Evans, Pastor Jim Williams, Pastor Jeff Holdway, Pastor Bruce and Fiona Hills, Pastors Brian and Bobby Houston, Pastors Steve and Joyce Dixon, Pastors Nick and Sarah Caroya, and of course our senior pastors, Pastors Phil and Lucinda Dooley. And lastly, I'm also very aware that great men and women who are no longer with us also gave so much of their life, time, prayer, resource, and energy into creating a community of Bible-believing Christians. These people have helped to build this wonderful church at the base of the mountain that exists to glorify God and continues to raise up purpose-filled Jesus followers. And some of the family members of those that are no longer with us, I'm sure, are here today. I can't mention every name, but men and women like Graham Burton, Tom Reed, Pastor Colin Oates, Kevin Passingham, Ted Turner, Mrs. Morton, Barbara Morton, Hilda and Alexander Artez, Pastor Ralph Reed, and lastly, I'd love to honour and acknowledge my dad, Terry Heiser. All of these people and so many more were amazing, faith-filled, committed, God-glorifying people who deserve to be honoured. The reality is, church, we are living in the blessing of so much of their sacrifice. And for that, I want to say thank you. So church, can you join with me in thanking and appreciating all those people that have gone before us? Beautiful.